Hi everyone, day one, video one. What I've decided to do with my trusty cameraman, Ryan, who's sat behind the camera and who's going to film me, is we are going to start right at the very beginning of your physiotherapy story. Now, I want to please reiterate, I am not a medical professional. I am not telling you what is best for you. However, I'm giving you hints, tips and tricks that have helped me to regain my life back. So my physiotherapy story starts about 2 years ago, just over. I went and saw my therapist for the first time. And when I first went and met him, I was known in my family as Emily Two Boots. By the time I went to see him, I was wearing 2 air boots constantly because my ankles kept dislocating every time I stood up. I was also relying on crutches, and I had 2 dislocating kneecaps, 2 dislocating elbows, 2 dislocating ankles by this point. So it wasn't overly bad. However, I'd just received my diagnosis. So when I first met my physiotherapist, I've got a photograph to show you how proud I was to get my smart crutches. I looked a little bit like this. So known as Emily Two Boots, and in that first session with my therapist, he asked me to take off my air boots so that I could show him what happens to my ankles when I stand up. In this session, I actually cried. I would not take my air boots off because I was so scared that I would fall over. I'm now no longer known as Emily Two Boots, and I haven't been for nearly 2 years. However, it's taken a lot of hard work and determination to get there. So today I'm going to show you 2 exercises to do with your ankle joints that have really helped me to regain a bit of my life back. To start off with, we are going to be using a lot of different coloured TheraBands. I don't know if any of you have used these before, but they come in different colours for different strengths. So you will start off with a minute yellow one, which is really thin to build up a small resistance. This is your starter band. When you have regained enough strength into your joint that you're working on, you'll then move up to the red band, which creates further resistance. And then your final one will be your green band. This has the most resistance, and this is the one that I currently use on my ankles. Now, the first exercise that I do every day, because I do my physiotherapy every morning, it's an ankle stretch. So all it is you take your coloured band, for me it's green, you loop it around your ankle to create a tension, and you hold it in your hand to create a resistance for your ankle to work against. What you do is you pull back, and then all you very easily do is you stretch your ankle to its full stretch, and do that 10 times. Now, my recommendation would be to do 10 stretches and then 3 repetitions of that. So essentially you're doing 30 in each direction. What you'll then do is, it's always easier to have someone or something to have as a resistance. So you'll then go to the side, where you will then do, again, your 30 reps. To the inside, and then you normally get a trusty assistant. Normally, it used to be my partner Ryan, however I now use table legs. You will then tie it around the chair. So for example, if I use this chair here, I would create a loose knot, just like this. We used to use bed feet as well. It's anything you can find that makes it a bit easier for you. Then you sit back to create that resistance, and you pull your foot towards you. And again, you do that on both feet 10 times, and then repeat it 3 times. So you're doing 30 stretches in each direction. Now, it is important you are aware, this will not be a quick fix. These take time, and even more time, to get your ankles to a point where they are strong enough to then not dislocate every time you stand up. However, I have found it's been invaluable to me in order to do this exercise. I'm just going to ask my cameraman to put it on a brief pause as me stand. The second exercise I want you to work on is you need to make sure you have a surface in front of you. It can be a chair, a table, or a kitchen worktop. It depends what you have available. But this is just called your basic ankle stretch. So this will stretch all of the muscles here that secure your ankle joint and make them stronger, okay? What we're always told is we need to stabilise and strengthen. That's the way that we are looking at it today. So what you do is try not to put too much weight through your hands. However, if you are incredibly unstable, use it as much as you need to. And all you do is you bridge up and hold. And then after 5 seconds, you just release. And then you come up, hold for 5 seconds, and then release. What I generally try and do is I generally try and do this one 10 times, because obviously it builds a lot of muscle in your calf as well, and it does give you calf burn. However, it's also a very good balance exercise, because I don't know about you lot, my balance is absolutely rubbish. I have no core strength, so this really helps me. It also helps you to focus your mind a little bit to know which muscles it is that you are using. That's what we will do 10 times over. If you find that you are getting stronger and stronger, you can get to the point where you don't use a support. However, I suffer with very unstable knees, so for me, I always make sure I have a surface handy, just in case the worst can happen. So moving on from that, as I said, my journey started a long time ago. However, my symptoms have morphed and changed God knows how many times. When I initially started this journey, like I said, I had 6 unstable joints. I now have 27 unstable joints. I have 3 discs in my neck that sublux, as well as 5 in my spine. And then I've also got shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, thumbs, hips, knees, and ankles that dislocate. I never knew so many joints could dislocate, but it turns out, fun fact, they can. When I got to the point where I was moving with my smart crutches and life seemed a bit better, I'd got out of a wheelchair, I was suffering 55 to 60 dislocations a day, but there'd be the odd joint every so often where a knee would pop out and just hop it back in, and it would go from morning till night. It wouldn't be too much of a problem. However, my condition has now morphed following a very bad fall I had last May. I'm currently awaiting my 10th knee surgery. This one's for my left leg. I currently cannot even stand up without a leg brace on. However, what this knee does is it dislocates my kneecap or knee joint or cartilage, they haven't worked out what it is yet, round to the inside of my leg. It gets stuck and it causes me to fall over. I will be doing an episode because I'm sure I will fall at some point and we'll be able to capture it and show you what happens. However, I end up in a bit of a heap on the floor with all of my joints. My cameraman is smiling because he sympathises with me here. And I suffer temporary paralysis with it. So what we then do is we have our routine of get Emily her medication, and Emily then flips herself back in. However, more often than not, we do need ambulance assistance. However, at the moment in this current climate, we're trying to avoid that at all costs because of the lovely virus that's going around. Okay, so that's it for today, but tune in tomorrow for another video and we will go through some basic exercise for your wrists and your arms. Thank you very much. See you later.